Are you ready to get ready with me? Let's go. I'm starting out with my Naturium Dew Glow Sunscreen SPF 50. This is going to go all over my face. It's not going to leave a white cast, and it's actually fine for darker skin tones as well, as it's going to completely disappear and become invisible. It's just going to leave me with a dewy glow. I use it on my ears, my neck, under my eyes. I just have to be careful not to apply it too far onto my lid or it will get into my eyes. Next, we're using the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. This is very inexpensive. It lasts up to 24 hours. It's mattifying, water, and sweat proof, and it's got niacinamide in it. From the price point, I can think of no better foundation. And for those of you pros, you may have noticed that I didn't even start with a primer today, which is really just a testimony for how good that foundation is. Now, I did decide to try and use it under my eyes, which did not work out well. And for those who may be wondering, I did try the Catrice concealer, but I was not impressed with it. I basically have my one favorite concealer, and that's what I stick with. And I'll get to that in just a little bit. Next up, I'm going to skip the lip liner because I really don't need it with this. And this is the Maybelline Sensational Liquid Matte, and it's in the color Pink Nude. I like to wear a lot of different colors, but this is really my go-to. And it's especially good for those who are cool toned. What I like about it is that it's thin. It goes on really thin, so it doesn't look thick and cakey once it dries. And then when it dries, it's just a nice matte look. Next, I'm just adding a little bit of cheek color from my Makeup 3-in-1 face palette. For some reason, I didn't film it, but this is that one that's got the 3 colors that you pretty much see me using all the time. Now, if you're not good at conjuring up pictures, I can definitely send you a link. And all of the products will be listed in the description as well as the first comment on the video, so no need to worry, it's all going to be there for you. As I get older, I'm more and more concerned about wearing an SPF on my eyelids, and since I have not been able to find anything that doesn't bleed into my eyelids even a little bit, I decided I would go ahead and use my Dermaflage made in the shade Mineral Powder Foundation. Just using it as a base, I didn't even use a primer on my lids, so I'm kind of experimenting to see how this will go. And if you've watched a couple of my videos, you know that I like to do eyebrows several different ways. 1, because I get bored with the same way. 2, because the more people I can show different ways to do their eyebrows, my hopes is that something will click with you and help you. And 3, I'm just obsessed with how cool brows are and how they can totally change your face. Now, the little stickers that I'm using are by Hot We, and they're actually designed to be used for brow mapping, but I thought it was a really cool way to get a brow from nothing, so that's what I went with today. And I'm just using an eyeshadow brush and my Stone Gray Eyebrow Powder by Ellisy. Then I'm placing an eyebrow mascara over top, and it's time for the big reveal. No, it's not perfect. However, it does give you a really good basis for 2 eyebrows, which are very close to being the same. The drawback is you only have one shape. Now on to my favorite all time for the last 2 years, concealer. Reasons that I love it. It's thin, it's highly pigmented, it is a formula that's designed not to settle in wrinkles, and it has a small doe foot. And if you've seen my under eye video, which I will link in the description, you'll know that this provides the most skin-like, gorgeous under eye ever. Is it going to fix your wrinkles? No. Is it going to feel like it's from heaven? No. Is it a great concealer? Yes. Do I want you to buy it from Amazon? No. Pharmacy products that are available on Amazon are by third-party vendors. This can literally be anybody who just bought an overabundance of this stuff and had it sitting in their basement for 2 years. So if you're curious about this, I want you to get it from the website. I'll put my link in there. You don't have to buy it from me. You can buy it from anybody. Now, while I was rambling on, I was actually using the Bay-Free Multitasking Cosmetic Stick. It's just a cream highlight. Now we're on to Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur eyeshadow palette. The one I got is in the color Dusk. Now, I did buy this on Amazon, and here's how you can tell if you're actually buying products from the company or a third-party vendor. Look at who the seller is. If the seller has a Bare Minerals store, then you know you're buying it from Bare Minerals. And no matter where you're buying your makeup from, make sure it comes with a seal. Okay, Amazon shopping lesson is over. Bare Minerals knocked this stuff out of the park. I was searching around on Google looking for eyeshadow that actually contained a little bit of blur. I would literally coat my body in blur if it were possible. Now, I think it's cool as snot that you can use your fingers to apply this, and it just looks beautiful. And I especially think for those who have difficulties with their hands or difficulty holding brushes, I thought this was a terrific find because you can still use one of your fingers probably to get that makeup on there. I also found this to be very forgiving, and I think it's because of that little bit of a blur. And what I mean by that is if you don't place it just perfectly, it's soft, so it's not going to show every little line that you missed. I'm not the world's best at eyeshadow, so if I can do this, I feel like you can do this. And if I can do this with my finger, you can do this. Now, if you are already experiencing some of those hand dexterity problems, or you have tremors or any manner of issues putting on makeup, I am going to put a link into the description for a company that actually created tools for people with Parkinson's disease, and they actually make tools that are easier to hold on to. So if that's of interest to you, definitely check that out in the comments or in the description. Now we've got about another minute and 40 seconds left of the video, and I just wanted to say thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you watching this video so much, and I'm so appreciative of the friends that I've made on this app. Now it's cold and dry in my home because we've had to crank up the heat because of the recent cold weather. So I'm literally drying out, and I'm going to add a beautiful lip gloss by Lucky Chick called Bubbly. It's really just a champagne color with a little bit of glimmer in it, which brings attention to the lips. Now this is my second day hair, and I'm going to add a little bit of color. My dark roots are coming in, so I'm wanting to just kind of blend that a little bit on the side. Where I've overlapped, I'll just blend that with a little eyeshadow brush, and then I'm going to add some blonde up there. I'm actually trying to grow out my natural color. I'm not sure if I'll stick with it, but I want to see what it looks like again. And if you look at the dark roots on the top of my head, that's my actual natural color. But I actually love to use a little blonde in the sides of my hair where I have more gray. So this is just my attempt at balancing out the colors and putting them where I'd like to see them. Well, my friend, we've come to the end. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Feel free to leave me a question or a comment. I try to get back to everybody within 48 hours. Now you go and have an amazing day.